Yo, people, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. I'm doing a video at viewer request, and I'll be talking to you about why the TSA is a revolving door. Revolving door. So, first of all, I am a former TSA employee. I work for a different federal agency. With that said, everything I am telling you is based on my own personal experiences. I don't speak on behalf of the TSA. I am not a spokesperson. I don't represent anybody but Fazil. So, don't come to me going, me, 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 me. No. I don't speak for the TSA. I speak for Fazil. So, for starters, the TSA has a very high turnover. This is public knowledge. Everyone knows about this. The TSA has more revolving doors than a Vegas casino. Let's talk about why. Okay, so I'm going to explain to you 8 reasons about why the TSA is a revolving door. At the end, I'm going to tell you the reasons why the TSA is actually a pretty decent job. So, stick around till the end. The type of people that work at the TSA are retirees, people from the military or people from the private sector. I worked at TSA Atlanta at the airport, and a lot of the retired people working at the TSA retired from Delta and then they came to TSA. Or they were former Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force. A lot of them were retired police officers. And the reason why these people work at the TSA is because they're about 45, 50 years old. They don't want to stay home and be bored. So they want a job that's easy, low responsibility, and frankly, something where no one really bugs them. After retirees, it's the people that are holdovers from the private security days. So the TSA started in 2003. It became, no, it did. It started around 2001, I think. I don't remember, but it's around then. It became a federal agency after some point. So when the TSA first began hiring people, they hired the people that were already doing airport security as private contractors. So a lot of my coworkers were holdovers from the private security days. And honestly, these people have the job and haven't moved on because they can't do anything else. And I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm just telling you the things that I hear them talking about amongst themselves. They really can't do anything else. After them, it's the low skilled or people that don't have any skills who are trying to get jobs at the TSA. And that is perfectly okay. I'll explain why later on. After that, it's people who want a job in the federal government and it's a secure job. It has benefits. That's pretty much it. And then you've got people that want to get their foot in the door and all they're trying to do is climb the ladder. These are people that went to college or law school or and these are the people that get in and then springboard to a better job later on. With that said, there's a lot of good people that work at the TSA. They aren't all bad. There's a lot of good people there. And I still have friends who are still at the TSA. And they're all very good, very professional, very smart people. All right, so let's keep going. The people that are the most heavily impacted by the revolving door are low-skilled workers or people that don't have any skills. Once again, if that's you, that's okay, because these are the people that will take the job and then sign up for every single special assignment out there. And all they're doing is building their resume and padding it with as much experience as possible. After that, it's people who want to get their foot in the federal door. These are the people that only stick around for about 2 years. When I was there, I stuck around about 22 months and then I took off. I mean, I told myself, I'm gonna get hired, I'm gonna stay for under 2 years. I'm not staying past 2 years and I'm getting out of here. I did just that. And then there's people who just don't ever leave the TSA. These are people that are retired and they stay about 10, 15 years, and the people that are holdovers from the private security days. Or the people that don't leave are ones who have family obligations or they got too comfortable. These are the people who can't simply pick up and go to a different job because they're already settled there. And then you've got the people who just enjoy the job, and that's okay. Some people really do enjoy the job. In hindsight, I really had a lot of fun at the TSA. I enjoyed the job. When I was actually there working at the TSA, I hated the job. But I was also young, immature, stupid back then. But now that I'm older, wiser, I don't have any hair. Oh, by the way, I'm only 34 years old, but you know, genes haven't been too kind to me. But some people just enjoy the job. Why do people leave the TSA? A lot of people, they just get better jobs. The TSA is a very good starter job. If it's your first job out of high school, it's a great job to have. It pays decent, has government benefits, and you can also go on to something bigger and better. So as a starter job, thumbs up, I recommend it to anybody. And then a lot of people end up getting fired for attendance, performance problems, or they pop hot on a drug test. People, if you're going to have a job with the federal government, you can't be doing drugs. And if you get caught doing drugs, don't be surprised when they try to fire you. And then people also leave because they retire. A lot of the retirees from Delta or from other jobs or that are veterans, they don't want to stay home. They don't want to be bored. That's okay. They'll get a job at the TSA, stay 10 years, build up a few benefits, get some cash, take off. And that's perfectly fine. And then there's also people that quit the job on their own because the job isn't what they thought it would be. A lot of people want to become police officers. And when I was at the TSA, a lot of the people I worked with wanted to become police officers. And I would talk to them and I hear them say, well, you know, I took the job because I want to be a cop. And then come to find out, as a TSA officer, you are not a cop. You don't have any power. So they end up quitting, but a lot of them do end up becoming police officers. A few of my friends became police officers. Or another reason why people quit is because they go to school. I had a few people who went to law school. Other people just dropped out and went straight to college. I was at a point where I was gonna quit the TSA and go to pilot school. And then another reason why people quit is because of hostile managers and supervisors. Yes, that's right. Every job has them, and the TSA has a lot of hostile managers and supervisors. It's just a fact. And then the final reason why people don't stay is because of high burnout. People get burned out very quickly. The job is very easy, but it can also be pretty stressful. The traveling public has a lot of Chads and Karens. These people will complain about everything, and they will also try to get you fired. I've had plenty of people walk up and point to Fazil doing that and go, man, but he did this and that and that and that. And my supervisor's like, get off the checkpoint, keep going. People will complain about you and they'll try to get you fired. They try to get me fired. It didn't work because every time I do something, it's by the book and people hate it. Also, it's a shift working job. You're working odd hours. It isn't a job where it's a standard 9 to 5. And you've got people working all the way from 6 a.m. to about 2, 3 p.m. Then from 2, 3 p.m. till about, I don't know, I think 10 a.m. Not 10 a.m. You get the point, okay? So you're there at all hours. And then another reason, the final reason why the burnout is so high is because people get sick and tired of their own coworkers and supervisors and managers who put a target on their back and try to get them fired. So burnout is high, but if you can stick it out, it's not a bad job. Okay, so hostile managers and supervisors. Yes, it's true. They have them. Everything you've read about on the blogs, they're pretty true. A lot of these supervisors and managers, they have egos. They will demand respect. They don't care about you, who you are, or what your problems are. They want respect as a supervisor. You will respect their authority. And you know what? When you don't, they will go crazy on you. I had one duty manager, a checkpoint manager, the people in the suits and ties. I refer to her by her first name. And apparently that is a faux pas. That's a big taboo. She stood me in the middle of the checkpoint and yelled at me and berated me and insulted me in front of everyone, passengers and coworkers, and basically told me that I don't have the privilege of referring to her by her first name. If I'm going to refer to her, for example, let's call her Johnson, okay? If I'm going to refer to her, I will refer to her as Checkpoint Duty Manager Johnson or Miss Johnson. That is how egotistical she was. And she also wasn't one of the greatest ones either, but you know, it is what it is. A lot of supervisors and managers will place a target on your back for whatever reason. They don't like you, they feel intimidated by you, or you stepped on their toes, or whatever. For example, once again, personal story. I had once one person just became a supervisor, brand new supervisor, had a chip on his shoulder, and he had a lot to prove. And this guy was basically upset that I wouldn't respect his authority. Not authority, authority. He demanded respect. And I mean, I'm about 26, 27, and I'm sorry, I won't let you walk all over me. That's not gonna happen. So he put a target on my back, and he found the smallest thing one day and tried to write me up on disciplinary actions. And he tried to stop my promotion to a different agency. He basically told me, if you don't do what I say, I control your future. And he signed the paperwork and he walked out. I looked at my supervisor saying, is he kidding? And she said, Fazil, it's okay. I got you. I'll protect you. You will get your promotion. Don't worry. Just ignore that guy. A lot of the people there are on power trips and they play favorites. However, they aren't all bad. I had a great supervisor, but other supervisors are on power trips. Health hazards. It's a lot of standing and you're carrying heavy bags. I still have back pains from the TSA days. If I carry something too heavy on my left shoulder for a prolonged period of time, I start to feel a lot of pain. And that's back from TSA. The traveling public, they lack hygiene. I've had people cough, burp, yawn, and blow their nose right in my face. And they do this unapologetically. People lack hygiene and you will have to deal with them. This exposes you to all kinds of diseases. Literally, personal story. In the 2 years I was there, passengers gave me the flu twice. I couldn't call out. I had to still keep going in. Calling out sick at the TSA is taboo. If you do it, managers, supervisors, and co-workers insult you publicly. So if you call out, it looks bad on you. However, that culture has changed because of 2020. Guess what happened in 2020? That's right. There's a global beer bug going around and the TSA doesn't want people getting sick and the body count building up. So that culture has changed. If you feel sick now, they tell you, hey, please stay home. Also, I've had people come to the checkpoint and they just drop dead. Yes, I'm not playing around. People have come to my checkpoint and just keeled over. And later on, we find out that they had a stroke or a heart attack or, just whatever natural causes, they dropped dead on the checkpoint. It happens. And the worst thing of all, it's an airport, people. People are bored, they're sitting around, there's lots of bars, there's lots of alcohol. They get pretty drunk. They will come and throw up on the checkpoint, and that puke, it goes everywhere. So, if you travel with sandals on, you might want to rethink that. The probation period at TSA is 2 years. That's a long time. A federal employee that works part-time, not part-time, a federal employee that works full-time has a 1-year probation period. At the TSA, it's 2 years because the TSA hires people part-time. So if you're there only half of the time, that probation period doubles. And that equals 2 years worth of chances to try and fire you. I've seen it happen. People will have a great 1 year, year and a half. As they hit that 2 year point, they start getting pretty comfortable. And they get caught doing something stupid and then they get fired. So because the probation period is pretty long, a lot of people don't want to stay, they don't want to deal with that, they just go find something else. And that's okay. Being hired part-time. The TSA hires people part-time. As a part-time employee, you work odd hours. Well, at the TSA, everyone works odd hours. However, working part-time, if you have family, if you have kids, if you have obligations, long-term, that isn't sustainable. However, a lot of people do take on second jobs. A lot of people start going to school and they go to the managers and tell them, hey, can you work with my schedule? And they are happy to do it. I've had my supervisor accommodated me when I was at the TSA and I was doing IT training on my own time, but it overlapped with work time. So my supervisor told me it's okay, I'll just push your schedule back a half an hour and we'll go from that point. And it worked out great. The other thing is you have to bid for your schedule and your vacation time. So what happens is every year there's a whole list of schedules available for all the checkpoints at the airport. And you pick your schedule and your vacation time based on seniority. However, if you're at the bottom of seniority, it's fine. The turnover is so high that within 2 years, you're basically picking whatever schedule you want or that best accommodates your lifestyle. So if you don't have seniority, it's okay. It's gonna go up very quickly. Another thing is going full-time. Full-time spots do become available all the time. However, they don't just give it to you, it's a privilege. Becoming full-time is based on seniority and availability. However, you can't have any attendance, performance, or conduct problems. If you do, they won't give you full-time. So, if you get the job, you're hired part-time, behave yourselves, and they will give you full-time. However, if it's a foot in the door and you don't care about going full-time, you just want to go do something else, get hired part-time, behave yourselves, and then go do something better. Work-life balance is difficult to come by. If you want vacation time, it's based on your seniority. If you want vacation time, it's based on seniority and availability. Also, you're working odd hours. I was working Wednesday to Sunday. I got Mondays and Tuesdays off, and I was working 5 to 7:30. So odd hours. Can't do too much about it if you don't have seniority. But at the time, I didn't care because I didn't have any obligations. I mean, I don't have wife, I don't have kids, I don't have all that baggage. I can work whenever I wanted to. Wasn't a big deal. Another thing is people get sick. If you get sick, it's taboo. People look down upon that. When I say people, I'm talking about your own coworkers. You're talking about managers, supervisors. If you call out, they don't like it. It looks bad on you. At some point, it could count against you. So what a lot of people will do is they'll go to work anyways. I went to work twice with the flu. And if you come to work and you go home sick, people accuse you of lying and faking it. Once again, it's 2020. There's a global beer bug that's going around. That culture has changed. If you get sick, they tell you stay home, don't come until whatever that is cleared up. Also, yes, you do get days off, but depending on your obligations and what you have going on, those days off may not fit your schedule. You get 2 days off anyways, plus additional vacation time based on availability of when you want to take them. So, If you have kids' school plays, soccer games, family holidays, you could forget about all of that because you are probably going to be on the clock during that time, or you're probably going to be going to work because if you think about it, you work at the airport and you don't park at the airport because that's expensive, right? So you park off the airport and you end up taking the train or the bus or something. So that adds about a good 2 hours a day to your commute times. So 8-hour workday becomes 10 hours very quickly. And you do get weekends and evenings off, yes, if you have seniority. If you don't, you're stuck with whatever schedule you've got. So seniority is everything. Now, I'm going to tell you all the good things about the TSA. So, you get holiday pay. You get Sunday pay. You get PM differential, and that's basically extra pay after 5:30 p.m. I think like it's an extra 10% added on. So, if let's say, for example, Christmas. If Christmas falls on a Sunday and you are working that Sunday, you get your base pay, you get holiday pay, you get Sunday pay, plus you get PM differential if you're working past 5:30 p.m. So you're triple dipping into getting paid. If you work full-time, the extra bump in your paycheck is very noticeable. A lot of reasons why people stay is just because of all the additional pay. So if you're getting paid, I think it's E-band, E is in echo. If you're being paid echo band, you're at about, I think, 35, 40,000 a year. So if your base pay is 35, 40,000 a year, you can easily bring home about 48 to about 50,000 because of all that extra pay. And if you're working overtime, I've seen people bring home close to 55 to 56,000 a year, including overtime plus all that extra pay. Another reason why people stay is because it's a stable job and you get government benefits. If the economy is good, you still have a job. If the economy is bad, you still have a job. And you get health care, you get retirement, and you get all this other stuff on top of it. If you plan on being a federal employee and you want to rundown of all the benefits, tell me in the comments and I'll be happy to do a video on it. Another good reason why people want to work at the TSA, it's a very good starter job. If you're, like I told you in the beginning, if you're fresh out of high school and you just want a job that pays something decent and you don't have any experience and you're hungry and you want to basically go do bigger, better things, work at the TSA. You'll get a lot of experience very quickly, provided that you're putting in the effort to go get it. So every time a special assignment comes up or a project comes up and you're constantly doing those assignments and projects, you can build your resume up very quickly. And I'll be honest with you guys, when I worked at the TSA, at the time going through it, I was going through a lot of personal things on my own, but honestly, it's a fun job. I had a lot of fun on the job. I came across a lot of cool people. The US Paralympics team, I came across the PGA golf tournament players. I came across people from WWE. I got to shake hands with Colin Powell. I got to shake hands with Rudy Giuliani. Yes, I understand. people have problems with Giuliani, but I didn't care. I'm like, yo, it's Rudy. I just want to shake the guy's hand. I came across Hulk Hogan. He's pretty cool. I came across Reba McEntire. She's pretty cool. Evander Holyfield came in. I gave him a pat down. Flo Rida came in. Flo Rida. I gave him a pat down. I had Waka Flocka come in, and I pissed him off. But that's a different story. If you want to hear about it, I'll tell you about it. Barack Obama also came. Got to see the guy, wave at him. You know, he kept going. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is pretty cool. Usher came in. Usher's pretty cool. I haven't really had problems with anyone. Boric Dunn, a football player, he's pretty cool. There's also Representative Elijah Cummings. I came across him at TSA, talked to him. He's about that tall. One of the coolest people I ever came across. So, with that said, if you found the video helpful, or if you plan on working for the government, or you're in the TSA application pipeline, and you have any questions, comments, go ahead and put them in the comments below. If you found that this video helpful, give me a thumbs up, please. It helps me. It supports the channel, and it also helps other people who are trying to find videos such as this. I will have additional videos coming out. Another one about the TSA and what's going on with hiring, and then I'll have another video about how to interview for jobs in public and private sector. So that's all I've got. Until then, peace out.